All right, welcome everybody. So today's video is a video where I go to an estate sale and I take my wife with me for some extra help and support, and we ended up getting some really good finds and spent $125 total. She ended up getting a few things and so did I. Here what you're looking at is just some stuff I did in the morning before heading out. Really needed to organize my stuff. Lately been getting a lot of pliers, as you can see here, so I wanted to organize them and get my priorities straight and get organized so I know what I can restore and get my projects lined up on what I'm going to be doing next. All right, so I spent $125 on all this stuff here, plus some other stuff, which I have set off to the side here just because it's larger outdoor tools. But my wife wanted a couple of items, which were these stands for putting her plants on, and they were some nice old wood. Looked like they were pretty vintage, and she wanted $100, the lady there, for both of them. So I ended up getting them in the bundle for $125, and that's what makes me feel comfortable on spending $125 for what I got here. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you think and how you think I did. So let's get some of these Scout Crafter induced items out of the way, and then we'll jump into the other stuff. All right, so what this item is the Miva 865 lantern. Never would even think of purchasing this if Scout Crafter just did not do a video on this. And like I mentioned, my wife was with me, and she had seen that recent video because I was showing her about the tool swap meet that we went to, and he had some good footage in his video. So she actually spotted this and said, "Hey Tom, what do you think of this? I checked the bottom like John said and it looks solid, so you want me to throw it in your bundle?" And I said, "Sure, what the heck." And when you're at these estate sales, a lot of times it doesn't matter. It really comes down, what I mean by it doesn't matter is you're going to basically pay the same whether you buy a big bundle or a smaller bundle. So when you're on the fence, what I've learned over the years is just throw it into the bundle. And that's what this next item was. I threw it into the bundle. Once again, never would buy a propane lantern. This is a new old stock. It still has the can in it of propane, which I would doubt was ever used, being that this is new old stock, and this is for camping, and I thought that was pretty cool. Want to say it was, yeah, Ontario, Canada, so who knows what I'll do with these, but just grabbed them because it was part of the bundle. So I think they have some value, but I don't think they're super expensive either. All right, the next item I got is this Remington electric pole saw, and she's long. It goes about, I don't know, the pole's at least 5 or 6 feet, and then it's going to extend, it looks like, another 4 or 5 feet. Very lightly used, and I'm just getting tired of cutting branches down using the manual pole saw. It is just exhausting. It is like a workout, which I guess I could use, but so that I got in the bundle as well. I know these go for about $99 to start new. And then I also got that Black & Decker hedge trimmer, 16-inch, and I picked that up for my sister, as she needs something light like this to trim around her hedges. And then my wife actually picked out these cutters because she was just not happy with the ones I recently picked up for her. We had a set I picked up from Ace that was made in Taiwan years ago, and it's these anvil style that she just loves because you could just cut larger branches and don't need as much leverage. I had picked her up these not too long ago, and I cleaned them up, and they're sharp as could be, but they just don't work as well. They have more of that scissor action versus an anvil action. She just does not like them, and I tried these out, and they seem to be working pretty well. Whoop. And as you can see here, that anvil kind of self-levels when you cut, and it gives you a nice clean cut. So now, for the sake of time, I'm just going to take this stuff out, lay it out in a couple spots, and run you through it. All right, so I pulled out a handful of items here. I still got a lot more in there, so I'll try to go through this pretty quick and just really hone in on maybe some more of the interesting stuff. And look at this here. I think this is super neat. This is a Dryer Brothers. Never heard of them before. And it's called the Low Boy. And it looks like it was painted with a nice like crinkle or a sort of hammered silver finish. And it is a low profile hacksaw. And it's actually got a great blade in it, made in Germany. So that's some quality stuff right there. That'll be a fun project. How about this? This is just a small 3 ounce. It does have a name on it there. FNC Company. But anyway, it's a 3 ounce brass hammer. And that I thought was just really neat. The handle is solid. It's very lightly used. This big hammer I had to grab, right? I mean, can never just pass up an Eswig. These are made in the USA. I don't know if they still all are. I did see that some of them are getting outsourced now. But what's so cool about this is look at that handle. See that? Now, if you're lefty, you hold it that way. If you're righty, you hold it that way. Look at that, how it doesn't come out of your hand. And what's so neat about this is that the person that owned this must have been a lefty, because this side, the business end, is way more beat up. So for me, it's like a brand new hammer. Probably just wipe that one down, and that'll be a beater, a user, as a hammer should be. And then this little novelty hammer, it's kind of cute. It's made in Lancaster, PA. Looks like this might be some sort of brass. It's got the screwdrivers in it. It's all complete. You can unscrew the handle. There's another screwdriver on the other side. It's always a fun little item. Here is an X-Acto, you know, like X-Acto knives. This one is made in the USA, and it's just a little saw. It's for little projects, I'm sure, models or light plastic. And I actually found another blade that goes on it, another saw blade. So, and then this unscrews, and so, you know, that's pretty cool. And then I've been looking for a coping saw for a while, and I just didn't want to get a cheap one at Harbor Freight. I knew I'd come across a decent one, and this is that Distin brand. You know, I've had really good luck with buying their stuff in the past at estate sales and yard sales, and they're worth a lot of money. They're good quality. So this one I'm just going to wipe down, and it'll go in my drawer when I need it. I have a good quality one. That's why I always resist the urge to buy junky stuff at like Harbor Freight and so forth, if I can. And this looks like, speaking of Harbor Freight, just a cheaper type one. Who knows, maybe this was part of that X-Acto set. But just a little hacksaw there, and then a really nice hacksaw. To me, this is a beauty. Look at the handle on that. Art Deco KD convertible frame saw number 99. Obviously adjustable, but it fits so nice in the hand. It's got a nice blade on it too, not too used, and it's a Starrett blade. So I don't know, not worth a fortune, but really nice. That's a beautiful old, you won't see something like that anymore with that design. And then speaking of Distin, picked up a couple of their saws. This is like one you would use in a chop saw type box. I just, you know, seemed nice. The blade was sharp on it, so I'm gonna clean it up, and you know, when I'm doing some woodworking, I'll use it if I could ever afford to buy wood again with the prices right now. And then this one I loved because it had such a nice handle. It's not super long, probably 16 inches. It's called like the Countryside or something like that, if you could read the blade. But what I was disappointed, I didn't realize it was missing the rivets here. It's got the rivets on this side, but not the cap that goes on the other side. I'm sure I could find those and replace them. You wouldn't use it like this. It just wouldn't really work. But who knows? Maybe the handle's worth a couple bucks. But I plan on using them. Maybe I'll sell them in time. I'm not much of a woodworker. And then a couple of items real quick. I always grab when I can gel and gel. This is a gel stain, which I'm not familiar with, but I do think this is good for using on things that aren't wood. So yeah, fiberglass, metal, or on wood where you get like a lot of glue and the stain won't penetrate, because my woodwork's usually sloppy. This could come in handy. Poly I always use, and it's not cheap, this stuff. So this is like, these are all 80% full, and so that one was a satin, this one's a semi, that one's pretty full as well, and then just a regular special walnut. All right, let's get to some more stuff. And here is the remainder of the stuff, and there's some nice stuff in here. 3/4 of a can of WD-40, about the same in Armor All. Always use a lot of both of those products. So when I could get them for next to nothing. How about this? Old-fashioned cut nails. I mean, the box itself looks to be pretty old. Probably, what, from the 80s, the 70s? Who knows? But look how those nails are cut on the top.
is that cool for certain projects, or you just need to cut off a nice little piece to make a wedge or something like that. But look at the style of those nails. How to have those. Look at this. How neat is this funnel? It's like coated with almost like a porcelain. It's a metal funnel. I don't know if it's like a heavy duty paint or something. I just thought that that was the coolest one I ever seen. A Stanley mortise, like new. This one is a number 61. Whenever I could get a pair of tin snips for a bundle, always throw them in. Pair of Kreuter, nice ones, USA. Lyman's, pair of some Allen keys, USA made. Look like they were never used. This is fantastic, and I actually just tried it out to make sure it worked because it looks so cool. It's a heavy duty tip for like a butane torch. Just the way the knob is on it and the way it's designed, it just feels like a really good quality. Obviously it's brass, much better than just regular Benzomatic type ones. This is a nice one. It doesn't have a it has a patent on it. I guess I could look it up from this here. This is a clam knife. I, love these. I love eating raw clams. When I was a kid, I used to carry one of those around with me to the beach and just eat them right out of the water. Look at this. This I thought was pretty cool. Just a pair of General brand. It's about a 6-inch long, and they locking tweezers. New old stock Stanley rod saw, they call this. This is for cutting like concrete, cast iron, fiberglass, different materials could go into there. This, I don't know what it is though. I think this is a handle, like a universal handle for like a file. That's what I'm hoping it's for, because it has a chuck on it that tightens up. Have to play with it a little bit more, but I think that's what that is. And if that is, that would be great. I grabbed these hoping that they were a high quality one, but they're not Nicholson or anything like that. They're mini files, and they have plenty of life. And really like this wood handle screwdriver because it's got the tang on it that it's all the way through, or I don't know what you call that, the cap, I guess. And the tips seem pretty good. This I absolutely love. This is a Miller's Falls, and it's a ratcheting screwdriver. When I tell you this is fine tooth, this is fine tooth. Look at the condition of the handle. Just absolutely wonderful. That I love. So that was a great find. Looks like a pretty good chisel there. New, not beat up. Let me move around some stuff to make this go faster. And this is the beauty of having your wife with you or somebody else with you when you're at an estate sale, rummaging through and people are racing for items. My wife grabbed this. She saw the green. She knows I love SK. Do you want this? Yep, throw it in the bundle. Just an SAE, got majority of the SK sockets in it, extension, but there's two sockets I wanted to share with you that I love in here. This is a Williams, and what's cool about this socket is it's 3/8 drive, and it's a 5/16. So they're a little bit harder to find, those smaller sizes in a 3/8 drive. And then I love this, a 10mm V-Series socket. And then I always do the same thing. If I have an SAE socket set, you gotta have at least a couple of metric sockets in there, including the 10mm. But how many of those V-Series do you think were lost on the 10mm size over the years? Whenever I could grab a super wrench, I grab it. This one has some small owner's marks on it. It should come out, but these are $20 bills all day. I just sold one recently for $22.50 if you saw that video on eBay, plus shipping. Never saw a spinner handle I didn't love. This one is the Stanley. Very similar to the Proto. I love that you can put the ratchet on it. That'll clean up great. Simple thing like this sometimes just excites me, a scraper. Because look at this one. I never seen one like this. It looks like it's brass, and it's really well made. Oh, look at that. So you taped an extra blade to the bottom of it. Looks like one of the blades the Scoutcrafter had used that it's been used a million times. But here's the one I had in the past. I cleaned this one up not that long ago, did a nice cleanup on it. It was completely rusted, worn, and it's junk. All it does is keep binding up, breaking, bending, have to keep refixing. I'm going to throw this one in the garbage because I'm just so frustrated with it. I love having a scraper that I could use like this, and I think this is just awesome. What a high quality scraper. Alway, it says on it. All right, couple other items here. These pliers I wanted to show you. Never seen one like this before. It says Germany on it, so it was made in Germany. Made in Germany there. And then it has a New York stamp on it. New York something Brothers. So it was maybe sold in New York, but look at that. Look at that. And at first I thought that was just damage marks, but it's got the same thing on each side. That's kind of how it was designed and made. And look at, I never seen a pliers like this. If anybody knows what this is for or what it is, it's old as heck. Look at, it's got like kind of some sort of something on here to pry with. I just don't know what that's for. I thought that was super neat. A pair of pliers here. This one, it was actually one of the lips was on the needle nose was slightly longer because one of them broke off. So I just stuck it on the grinder real quick because it was driving me nuts. But I think that would be a fun project to try to reprofile that a little bit. But I don't know. That could be really tough. I've done that before, tried that before and failed. So maybe I'll play with that in time. And then let me show you these wood tools. They are absolutely beautiful. Take a look at this first one here. Miller's Falls. Beautiful condition. Sharp as can be. And these are carving tools for wood. And I just knew that they were real nice. And that's why I grabbed them. I recognized the Miller Falls ones. I didn't recognize these. But they all say Germany on them, and they are sharp as can be and very well maintained. Yeah, Germany, if you could see that on there. They are just really nice, super maintained, sharp as can be. So those are that's a nice set of carving tools for when doing some woodworking and whatnot. And I just love this KD USA reamer. I have one made by Western Forge. This one just is such a nice solid handle on it, sharp as can be. I thought that was a neat one. And then this file, looks like it's got his name or somebody's name on it. Bill Frost. It looks like it's a custom handle because look how he wire tied that. And it just felt so good. And it's got a high quality file in it. USA made file. And it's got plenty of life still on it. And then this I grabbed just for maybe a future project. You know, if I ever need to make some sort of a scale for a small knife or something, it looked like it's some sort of it's probably a deer antler, would be my guess. And then I always grab some hardware when I can. And that's what this is here. This is just a key switch. There's some nice hardware in here, some eye bolts, some heavy metal, some angles. Threw that in. Emery paper, 120 grit. Some nice big clamps. You have to buy these. These are not cheap, especially when they're this large. Drop cloth for painting. Screwball driver. If you remember, Scoutcrafted did a video on that a while back. So let's wrap this video up. All right, last couple items. First one, not so exciting, but if and when you need it, it comes in handy. So to have one of these laying around, I'm sure these cost at least 10, 15 bucks when you need to buy one though. And this one's pretty cool, made in the USA. It says 1996 on it. I doubt they're still made in the USA. But when your toilet's leaking, you'd definitely be glad you have this. Hopefully the rubber isn't dried out. But how about this item? You know, I'm not 100% sure what it was for or used. My guess is, obviously, you know, it used a V-belt and it hooked to an old motor and it was a component on probably a series, you know, that somebody had where you would move the belt and the motor to different things. This might have had a stone on it, a grinding stone, or a wire wheel. But this end is tapered and I'm not sure if it's cut off or broken. So I'm not 100% sure. I thought, you know, the fact that it's tapered makes me feel like it wasn't necessarily broken. I'm just not 100% sure what that end was for. And look at this. Who knows how old this is, but I mean, smooth as can be. I put a couple of drops of oil in it. This old stuff just never wore out, and it's super balanced. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I feel like it could come in handy at some point. I do like messing around with old motors. I've been playing with treadmill motors a little bit. I could set something up on this. I just thought it was neat and had to have it. All right, there's everything. $125. Tell me what you think. Yeah, I had the hedge trimmer there as well. The pole saw. The couple of lanterns. The Czechoslovakian one. The propane lantern there. Some of these really nice tools here, some vintage tools. You know, got some great stuff in here. The saws, pretty neat. Some really cool restos and projects coming. And don't forget, my wife got her 2 fancy planners that she wanted. So that's what I think really kind of added to the cost. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll be doing a short video upcoming of some garage sale items I got. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you at the next one.